GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening, I'm Mark Beaumont. Our top story, extended water-saving work on Atwater Avenue, so keep conserving water. Severe thunderstorms have downed trees in North Montreal and traffic remains moderate to heavy with several closures. Tonight's jazz festival lineup looks fantastic. Over to you, Emma.
The Festival International de Jazz de Montreal opens this weekend, featuring over 50 performances across 20 venues from Friday through Sunday, with free outdoor concerts downtown.
Saturday night's headline act includes Pink Martini at the Bell Center, while jazz great Christian McBride and guitarist Julian Lage perform at the historic Salle Wilfrid Pelletier, both starting at 8 p.m.
General admission tickets for the festival remain available online, priced at $30 for a day pass, while all outdoor shows are free and open to the public.
We've highlighted the jazz festivities. Now it's time to dive into tonight's news, so stay with us as we get started. Good evening, Montreal. Construction crews on Atwater Avenue are still working to install water conservation upgrades, a project that has now stretched beyond its original timeline. City officials said the delays mean the neighborhood must keep tightening water use until the improvements are finished. The work, part of a citywide push to meet ambitious water-saving targets, involves replacing old pipes and adding pressure-regulating devices along the busy thoroughfare. Residents have been asked to limit showers, turn off taps while brushing teeth, and collect rainwater where possible. The mayor's office reminded households that every liter saved helps the system cope with growing demand and climate pressures. Officials expect the upgrades to be completed later this summer, but ask everyone to maintain reduced consumption for as long as the construction remains active. The city will monitor water flow and provide updates through its website and local media.
Les Setters officials announced this morning that the municipality, in coordination with the Quebec Ministry of Environment, has launched emergency work to stop untreated wastewater from entering a local stream. The effort comes after a La Presse investigation 3 weeks ago revealed that raw sewage from roughly 500 residents had been flowing directly into the waterway for the past 6 months, a practice provincial officials had previously tolerated. Crews are now installing temporary barriers and rerouting pipes while permanent upgrades are planned. The ministry says the measures will remain in place until a full treatment system is completed, a process expected to take several months. Residents are being urged to conserve water as the work proceeds, and authorities will monitor water quality closely throughout the ongoing operation. Environmental groups have warned that the discharge threatens fish habitats and downstream ecosystems.
Friday night, a two-vehicle collision ripped through the Onzhoo district, leaving 2 occupants injured. Police reports indicate the crash involved a sedan and a pickup traveling east on Boulevard Onzhoo when one driver lost control and struck the other vehicle head-on. Emergency crews arrived within minutes, extracting the drivers from the wreckage and transporting them to a nearby hospital. Firefighters deployed hydraulic rescue tools to pry open the crumpled frames, helping extract the occupants safely. One passenger suffered serious injuries and remains under intensive care, while the second driver sustained moderate injuries and was released after observation. The scene was cordoned off for several hours as investigators documented evidence and cleared debris. No arrests have been made, and authorities have not released details on the cause. Residents were advised to avoid the stretch of the boulevard until traffic resumed this morning.
Yesterday, a school board email sent to Rossmere High School inadvertently included the personal details of dozens of parents, exposing names, phone numbers, and home addresses. The message intended for internal staff was mistakenly forwarded to a broader distribution list, prompting the board to issue an immediate apology on Thursday. Officials confirmed the breach affected families of students across the high school and are working with the province's education ministry to assess the scope. The board has suspended the email system pending a security review and promised to reinforce data handling protocols. Parents were advised to monitor for suspicious activity and to change any compromised passwords. The incident has sparked renewed scrutiny of how school boards store and protect sensitive information, with the provincial government signaling possible audits of similar institutions.
Hydro-Quebec announced today a province-wide recruitment push for 35,000 paid positions. The utility says the campaign is essential to staff expanding construction and infrastructure projects that are sweeping across Quebec. With a tight labor market and persistent gaps in remote regions, the company hopes the new hires will keep momentum on new transmission lines, renewable energy sites, and grid upgrades. The positions span trades, engineering, project management, and support roles, all offering competitive wages and training pathways. Hydro-Quebec officials stress that filling these jobs quickly will help meet growing electricity demand and support the province's climate energy targets. The utility also plans outreach to vocational schools and community centers in the Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean region and the Gaspé Peninsula, hoping to attract talent to isolated sites. Applicants from across the province are encouraged to apply through the utility's online portal, and the hiring drive is set to run through the coming months. Later we'll hear how a judge temporarily halted Montreal's revocation of AIM recycling permits, a win for local businesses. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches, no middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're still with us as we turn to Emma Leclerc for the local stories that matter to Montreal tonight.
I'm Emma Leclerc. Authorities have placed restrictions on forest access in Nord du Quebec due to wildfire danger. The step comes after several blazes swept the province in June, leading the government to protect timber lands and nearby communities. Under the rules, recreational camping, hunting, and off-road travel in affected zones are prohibited until conditions improve. Officials say the limits are essential while fire danger levels stay high and monitoring continues. Residents who depend on the forest for work or leisure are urged to follow provincial alerts. Enforcement teams are on the ground to ensure compliance as the situation develops. The Fire Prevention Agency continues to track temperature spikes and dry conditions that have lifted the fire danger rating to its top level. Officials note that a single spark could spark a fast-moving blaze in the dense boreal forest, so the restrictions will be reassessed daily as weather evolves.
More than 200 forest fires blaze across northern Quebec today, and a coordinated response has already placed 900 firefighters on the front lines. Crews from provincial units and additional reinforcements from other provinces are battling the infernos, working through rugged terrain and unpredictable wind conditions. Officials say the surge in fire activity marks the sharpest increase this summer, prompting the large-scale mobilization. Firefighters rotate shifts around the clock, using water drops, fire retardant, and ground crews to contain hotspots and protect nearby communities. Air support, including helicopters, circles the affected zones, while local residents are advised to stay clear of fire lines and monitor updates. The effort remains ongoing, with teams continuing to assess new ignitions and prioritize the most threatening blazes. The Provincial Emergency Operations Center is overseeing resource allocation, and weather forecasts suggest a dry front could keep conditions volatile for several days.
Severe thunderstorms swept the north side Thursday evening, tearing down a large number of trees across several neighborhoods. Violent gusts ripped branches from power lines and blocked streets, leaving residents without clear routes to home and work. Cleanup crews arrived within hours, deploying chainsaws and trucks to remove fallen trunks and clear debris from roadways. The rapid response aimed to restore safe passage for drivers and pedestrians, while utility workers began repairing damaged lines. Neighbors reported scattered power outages and delayed bus service as the storm's impact lingered into the night. Authorities advised locals to avoid the affected corridors until the removal work was completed. The brief but intense weather event underscores how quickly a sudden downpour and strong winds can disrupt daily routines for families in the city's northern suburbs.
Yesterday, a Montreal judge issued a temporary stay on the city's move to pull the operating permits for the American Iron and Metal Recycling Plant in Montreal EST. The court order pauses the revocation that the municipal authorities had set in motion, keeping the facility open while the legal challenge proceeds. City officials had argued that the plant violated zoning and environmental standards, while AIM maintains it complies with all regulations and provides jobs for local workers. The judge's decision does not resolve the underlying dispute, but ensures that the plant continues to accept scrap metal, preventing an immediate disruption to residents who rely on its services and to the workers whose shifts remain active. Both sides indicated they will present further arguments in the coming weeks as the case moves forward.
City crews moved in after the July 1st moving day rush, clearing the streets of the trash that piled up between July 1st and July 3rd. Officials deployed additional collection trucks and set up temporary drop-off points in neighborhoods where discarded furniture and boxes were most concentrated. The effort focused on high-traffic corridors, removing bags of debris that had begun to block sidewalks and curbside bins. By the end of the 3-day window, sanitation teams reported that the majority of the accumulated waste had been hauled to disposal facilities, preventing further litter from spilling onto the roadways. The city said the coordinated response was designed to keep streets safe for pedestrians and cyclists and to maintain a clean environment during the summer holiday period. Residents reported noticeably clearer sidewalks and fewer odors, and municipal officials said they will continue to monitor waste levels throughout the summer to adjust services as needed.
Now let's turn to the forecast and see what tonight's skies have in store for us.
A brisk jet stream from the west locks in dry air, keeping tonight's skies clear and warm. On this date, Montreal's all-time high reached 34.2 degrees Celsius in 2018, a blistering spike that rode a lingering heat wave from the south. The record low, 13.1 degrees Celsius, fell in 2021 during an anomalous Arctic surge that pushed the thermometers well below the norm. By contrast, today's climate normal sits around 27 degrees high and 15 degrees low, a modest swing that underscores how today feels comfortably between the extremes. The live radar shows a blank canvas across southern Quebec, no rain echoes and no convective cells in sight. With the jet stream thundering westward at 159 kilometers per hour, the airstream remains dry and stable, preventing any lift. Expect the quiet to persist through the evening, and the sky will stay clear as the high pressure holds steady. At 6 p.m., the city sits under a thick layer of clouds, temperature 26 degrees, humidity 23%, and a gentle northwest breeze at 11 kilometers per hour, gusting to 23. The atmosphere is dominated by near-average pressure that is holding steady, so no new fronts are on the horizon. Overhead, a fast westward jet at 159 kilometers per hour slices the mid-levels, reinforcing subsidence and keeping the air dry. With a UV index of 8 and a maximum wind of 21 kilometers per hour from the west, conditions remain mild. No weather alerts are active. Tonight's temperature will dip to 15 as the clouds thin, and the night will be dry and clear. Looking ahead, Saturday night clears to a crisp 25 degrees by 7 o'clock, with a sky that stays cloud-free. Sunday brings a high of 27 and a low of 15 under clear skies, a gentle start to the week. Monday's high climbs to 30 while the low holds at 15, but an overcast veil will drape the city, hinting at a slower warming trend. Tuesday repeats a high of 30 and a low of 20, the sun breaking through for a dry afternoon. Wednesday pushes the mercury to 31 with a low of 21, offering another clear stretch. Thursday remains at 31 degrees high and 21 low, but partly cloudy conditions introduce a 40% chance of rain, the first wet spell of the period. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic is building. The Canadiens traded Brendan Gallagher to the Canucks, and Jazz Festival kicks off tonight. Stay with us, we will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Emma Leclerc, the biggest slowdown right now is the Isle aux Tourtes Bridge on Highway 40 down to 5 lanes. Expect a steady backup eastward into the West Island. The Honoré Mercier Bridge is running 1 lane each direction, so traffic will crawl across the South Shore. Highway 25 remains closed between Exit 5 and Charon Island after tunnel maintenance, diverting drivers onto Autoroute 23. Downtown, Barrie Street is shut between St. Catherine and Ontario for the Barrie-Yukon Station project, forcing motorists onto St. Laurent and St. Denis. Pi Roman 9 Boulevard has a lane reduction between Pierre de Coubertin Avenue and Notre Dame, slowing southbound flow. St. Urban overpass over the Ville-Marie Expressway is closed. Use the nearby Ville-Marie ramps. O'Brien Street at Henry Bourassa is blocked for water main work, but surrounding streets are clear. STM buses that normally run on Barrie Street are short-turned at St. Laurent, so riders should board at the next stop. Expect moderate to heavy congestion this afternoon, with the biggest delays on the bridges and Highway 40 corridor.
The Festival International de Jazz de Montreal dominates the city today, spilling from Place des Arts to Parc Jean-Drapeau with nearly 1,000 concerts that turn every corner into a stage. Whether you're chasing a free outdoor set or a ticketed showcase, the vibe is pure summer soundtrack. At Place des Arts, the legendary Pink Martini takes the Salle Wilfrid Pelletier, delivering their signature blend of pop, jazz, and world flavors, a perfect excuse to sip a cocktail and let the melodies linger. Just next door, Christian McBride and Julian Lage share the Theater Maisonneuve, pairing deep groove bass with lyrical guitar for a night that proves jazz can be both sophisticated and instantly accessible. And for a bite-sized break, head to the Esplanade du Parc Olympique, where First Friday's food trucks gather, offering street food delights and live music that keep the energy humming all evening. And now here's Jason with sports.
Big moves shake the Habs as the trade deadline echoes across the league. The Montreal Canadiens have sent veteran forward Brendan Gallagher to the Vancouver Canucks, receiving future considerations in return. The move concludes Montreal's off-season roster adjustments, while Vancouver adds depth to its forward group. Details are from CBC Sports NHL. The City of Montreal named Canadiens forward Brendan Gallagher an honorary citizen, holding a ceremony at City Hall Thursday afternoon. The recognition celebrates his contributions on and off the ice, underscoring the strong bond between the player and the local community. Montreal honored officially forward Brendan Gallagher with honorary citizenship at City Hall on Thursday afternoon, June 25. The ceremony recognized his contributions to the Canadiens and the community, cementing his lasting legacy beyond the rink. Goaltending legend Carey Price was elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame, joining the 2026 class alongside Pekka Rinne, Keith Tkachuk, and Cindy Curley. The Montreal native's induction underscores his lasting impact on the franchise.
Pastamore in Dollar des Ormeaux has been a West Island staple since it opened in 1981, when Mario and Maria Noviti first set out to share their love of homemade Italian cooking. For 40 years, the family-run restaurant served plates of fresh pasta, rich sauces, and the occasional Sunday lasagna that felt like a hug for the whole neighborhood. Tonight we learn the dining room will close its doors, but the Novities are keeping the Pastamore name alive with an online shop that will ship their signature fresh pasta and sauces across the city. It's a bittersweet transition, yet it reminds us that Montreal's culinary soul endures, reinventing itself one family kitchen at a time. And now a feel-good note, the Jazz Festival lights up the city with Pink Martini, Christian McBride, and Julian Lage. Stay tuned.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
On a crisp evening along St. Laurent, the aromas of freshly ground beans drift from the windows of four beloved cafés, Café Saint-Germain, Le Petit Grain, La Maison du Café, and the bustling spot on Rue Saint-Denis. Each shop, a familiar stop for students, artists, and commuters, was just named to the world's 100 best coffee shops for North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. Inside Le Petit Grain, barista Maya pours a silky latte, the milk swirling like a sunrise over the St. Laurent, while a regular taps a handwritten thank you note onto the board. At Café Saint-Germain, a retired teacher celebrates with a slice of almond cake, his eyes bright as the espresso shot he savors. The common thread is more than flawless crema. It's the way these cafes knit neighborhoods together, offering a brief pause in the city's rush. When the list was announced, owners gathered on the cobblestones, clinking ceramic mugs in a quiet toast that felt like a shared triumph for all of Montreal. It reminds us that a great cup can be a simple, steady source of pride for a community.
On St. Laurent Boulevard, in a modest 3-story duplex, the Delorier family gathered around a kitchen table as evening light filtered through their newly installed solar panels. Across the hall, their neighbor, retired teacher Marie, spread a hand-drawn chart tracking daily kilowatt-hour use, a simple response to Hydro-Quebec's proposal to raise rates for the top 5% of residential consumers. The conversation drifted to the scent of fresh baguette cooling on the counter while rain drummed softly on the roof, and to the challenge of keeping usage under 35,000 kilowatt-hours per year. Children added stickers to the chart each time a lamp was switched off, and the block organized a Power Down Saturday where families shared tips, from line-drying laundry to cooking in bulk. By month's end, the building had trimmed consumption by nearly 10%, staying comfortably below the new threshold. The neighborhood celebrated with a rooftop dinner, lanterns glowing as proof that collective action can light the way. How many of us can take a page from their playbook? Tonight, the lights stay bright because a community chose to shine together.
Thanks for watching, Montreal. Today's highlight was Hydro-Quebec's ambitious push to recruit 35,000 workers, a boost for our province's energy future. Stay safe, keep an eye on the news, and join us again tomorrow for more stories that matter to our city, and a reminder to conserve water as the AT Water Avenue project continues.